Hey yo, it's Colin from the Life of Logos podcast. I'm going to have a quick thought for you all, but one that's been on my mind, particularly as we're finding out that the clips that we have, both the short ones and the long ones, are starting to gain more traction. Um, I'll take that as a win because we've taken plenty of losses up to this point, but the win is coming for those who persevere, and I'm thankful for that. Though, while I discuss that, I want to address something that one of my friends brought up some years ago. This, as you all know, is not either my or Kenny's first podcasts. He had his own podcast once, and I don't know the link to it. I don't have anything. But I was on a podcast once with a couple buddies of mine called Reclaiming Reality. Reclaiming Reality was fun because we had a good time between, it was Ben, Nick, and myself. And if you want to see the episodes, I'll link it here in the description. And we used to talk about things that sometimes were really fun and sometimes were very serious. But it was all under the basis of talking about our faith. If you know anything about YouTube, the algorithm starts to push you just a little bit more, somewhere around 40 videos. Or at least at the time, it was around 40 videos. And we got to 38, and then we had a falling out. And in that falling out, Ben had so humbly decided that it was improper for us to continue to say things about faith, knowing that none of us had any sort of training in theology. To which, as an older man, I definitely see the value in what he was saying. I think if you are going to be teaching people in the Word of God, then yes, you should absolutely make sure your P's and Q's are straight, to the point where you're willing to risk your entire being saying that what you believe to be true. That is a lot of merit. Since then, Ben has gone into theology school and he is studying in seminary to be a pastor. I don't know where he is in that process, but I'm assuming that he's graduated at this point. I want to be clear about this as we go forward, because Kenny and I are not talking necessarily about theology in terms of beliefs. Let me be clear that we do not hold the authority on what you should believe as Christians, or you should believe in anything. I am simply presenting to you what I believe, and how my beliefs then shape the actions that I'm taking in terms of starting a business, creating a culture, how I treat people, how this shows up in storytelling, all of these things. The things that I am presenting to you, are not things that you should go off and run with and say, this is absolutely true and I'm going to give my life to that. First off, let me be honest. I'm a freedom-oriented person. I am. Do what you want to do. Believe what you want to believe. I'm not here trying to evangelize. I'm not here trying to tell you what to believe or not to believe. That is a different podcast for a different group of people who happen to share similar beliefs to what I believe. I don't believe that. I'm not here trying to make converts. That may be a controversial thing to say, but it's the truth. I'm here to tell you what I am doing in terms of developing a business that is my dream to create, in a lot of ways, a megalithic company that is focused around beauty, truth, and love. That is it. And I am tying my beliefs from my spiritual walk into my day-to-day life. I am talking about how those beliefs have shaped that which is known to be this dream, and how this dream is coming into fruition day in and day out. This is not legal counsel. This is not therapy. This is not a sermon. This is not evangelism. And I think we need to level set that before we go any further. I'm a person to believe that there is a certain appeal to authority to be right. And in the year 2025, we are all to some degree on either side where you sit on, seeing that some of the people who are in authority have questionable history. Let's phrase it that way. And I can't do anything about that. I want you, the listener, and everybody you know, to take everything with a hint of skepticism. Think about it. You don't have to go try to disprove everything and dismantle an institution or tear down a church. None of that. That's extreme. But you should at least question the sources that are coming to you. Don't take things at face value. You're a living, thinking individual with a heart, a mind, a soul. You have the right to interrogate reality, to include everything that I say. You have that right. And you also have the right to disagree with me. I'm not going to be offended. I would hope that many of you disagree with me. And that we can have a discourse, and if you do disagree with me, maybe I'm missing something, and I will be made all the wiser for your disagreement. I believe what I believe. And there's nothing you can do to change that. Only I can change what I believe. And that exists on every level. I think part of the dysfunction, particularly when it comes to matters of dogma or religion or things of the sort, is we are not oft quick to think that we have not given up the right to our beliefs to an external source. Let me say that in a way that didn't use so many words. We are very quick to give someone else permission to tell us what to believe. We are very quick to outsource our thinking, our beliefs, our values, and our actions. And what I'm calling for you to do, and what I'm asking you to do, is to take the power back and to believe what you want to believe. Think about it. Question it. Do you think that God becomes any less God because you have questions for him? Do you think the truth becomes any less axiomatic because you asked the question? If you're not willing to ask the question of the thing that you believe, that shows me your faith in that thing is actually very weak. And that's a scary thought to consider. I think you have a right to question your church, your family, the people who are in authority over you. There's nothing wrong with calling those institutions and those authorities to accountability, because they're human too. As long as you call them to accountability with the grace in your heart to know that they are human, then by all means, call them. Find out what is true. Find out what makes other people tick. Find out why we believe what we believe. And I guarantee you this, though you may go through a bit of a hard time initially, if your beliefs are useful, they will endure what any questions that you permit. Saying that again, if what you believe is true, it's still going to be true after you interrogate it. In fact, you probably will hold that belief more strongly because you interrogated it. I am not the authority. Colin, not the authority. I'm giving you a report on what I'm doing and according to my beliefs. I'm not giving you life advice. I don't give life advice. My opinion is not fact. It is not axiomatic. I'm a man having some discourse, and I wish that you all join me in said discourse as we move forward to a more clear and more axiomatic future. Because I'm committed to beauty, truth, and love. And we're going to find some beautiful things when we start telling the truth in love. My name is Colin. This is Life of Logos podcast. We will talk to you all next time.